Back to the Future cast had a reunion at ComicCon. And guess what? I was there. And I'm about to give you the full inside scoop to let you know if I met them or not. It might be a heartbreaking story. I'm going to tell you that. So we'll see. But anyways, welcome to the OTS podcast, Off the Script, where we bring you all kinds of subject topics and trends and things that you might like to give you a full raw entertainment. And look at us. We're outside here in a park, undisclosed location. But again, as I mentioned in the beginning, Back to the Future. You may have heard of it. You may not have seen it, but it's a classic film that everybody knows, right? Marty McFly, Dr. Emmett Brown. I am a huge fan. It's a classic film. The DeLorean, the time travel concept, it literally is a staple to a lot of movies. And I just want to be able to freely talk about my experience of finally getting the chance to meet them. But you're going to have to hold on and watch until maybe about a little more than the middle. So I'm going to let you know. But anyways, time traveling, Back to the Future. You guys already know it, right? It's a classic film, and time traveling, they're pretty much the first ones to kind of set it off, and it's an amazing concept. It's a template that every movie now uses. Not all of them, but most of these movies, they have that template because Back to the Future started everything. And speaking of the time travel concept, I had a couple questions, like obviously the number one question is, if you could travel back in time, where would you go to? Or would you rather travel to the future, and are you brave enough to take a glimpse of your future? There's so many questions, and because we're on the topic of time traveling and Back to the Future, I had the question of where would you guys want to time travel back to? Please comment below and let's have an engaging conversation, because I'm gonna let you know mine. All right, mine is probably in the 8th grade, because that's when I first learned to hoop. That's when I first started basketball, and just when you're in high school, or when you just enter high school, you ain't got to worry about much, right? So that's when I first really wanted to experience that again, So 8th grade is probably where I'll time travel back to. But in the end, there's so many other places that I would like to go back in time, just to relive that moment. And also in the future, I don't know though. I don't know if I should really go in the future, because who knows what will happen, and I'm not really worried about the future. But at the end of the day, man, you can't really control it, right? You can't control anything but now. The gift is present. You have to live good now. You have to live excellent, and you got to make sure. And that's how you really shape the future, So I would probably say that would probably be my little time travel, experience. But I also want to say, imagine if you could go back in time and literally change and alter history. It's crazy, right? I had a thought, what if you could go back and stop 9/11? Can you think about that? Probably not. Even though if I go back, I probably can't. I wouldn't be able to stop 9/11, honestly, because them boys are crazy, all right? But I would like to say, though, I think there was a moment that I would like to change. I don't want to go off topic, but it's about Kobe, okay? So if I could stop Kobe from getting on that plane, that helicopter, and I'm not trying to make fun of it, but it's because, it's really deep for me. But if I could stop that somehow and he be still living, that would be something amazing. But anyways, that's another time moment that I would like to be in to prevent that. But think about it. It's crazy because Back to the Future, that's what they do. Basically, Marty, he accidentally goes back in time, and then he accidentally disrupts his parents' meeting. So, and then he has to put them back together. If not, he alters and changes and affects the present, which means if them parents never got together, then he would not exist. So it's basically a butterfly effect, right? And that's why the movie is insane, and that's why I'm such a big fan. And I was like, you know what? 2024 Comic-Con, they're gonna be here. The reunion is happening, right? Michael J., Christopher Lloyd, Leah Thompson, everybody's gonna be up in there. And I had the chance to be in the same vicinity, right, as the reunion. And let me bring you back to the present moment, okay? This was maybe about a month ago. I had the pleasure to go to ComicCon 2024, and it was in the LA Convention Center. And Y'all, it was the day. Okay, we saw the schedule. It said the Back to the Future reunion panel was gonna be there around 10:30. So assuming we've already seen the Rosario Dawson, she did great on Friday, and this was Saturday morning, and we went a little early. Actually, no, we kind of met time schedule. We arrived around like 10, I think, and then we literally got front row seats. There was only one person in the front waiting for the cast to come out, right? The Back to the Future cast to come out. So he was there, and then we showed up, and I set up my gimbal, I set up my camera. I'm like, yo, I'm about to get some footages. I'm about to take some pictures of the legendary Back to the Future cast, right? So, and it was a reunion. They haven't seen each other a long time, right? So they're all together, man. They're gonna blow the roof off. So I'm staying there. You know, a couple minutes go by. I'm tired a little bit. You know, like people start to kind of crowd up a little bit. I'm like, okay, it's about to happen. It's 10:30. Maybe it's like 10:40. The moment is here. The host comes up, okay? The host comes up, welcomes everybody. Welcome to day 2 of ComicCon. You know, blah, blah, blah. Are you guys ready for Back to the Future? You know, there's literally, no exaggeration, there's about 100 people, maybe 50 to 100 people, because I briefly looked back, and it packed up, right? Everyone's here to see Back to the Future at 10:30 in the morning. And let me tell you, it's happening now, right? The host introduced, welcome Back to the Future. And then guess what? It was a screen. It was a rebroadcast. Basically, they did show up the day before, and then they actually had a private panel Q&A for the fans. They happened to film that, and for those who couldn't make it, they wanted to rebroadcast that on the screen. And so yeah, that was pretty disappointing, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I said, I finally get to see the legendary Michael J. Honestly, I want to see Michael J. I mean, as you know, Marty McFly, man. Everyone wants to see him, right? And then I see him on the screen, and I said, wow. It was a rebroadcast. I totally missed. It did say it, so I can't blame anybody but myself. They did mention rebroadcast on the schedule, and I was like, dude, I saw Michael J. Fox. I saw Christopher Lloyd, but on the screen, okay? And that was the craziest part. All these other people, they loved it. Like, these people were there taking pictures, and like they were in awe the fact that they were here the day before, and they were all like recording the screen. I'm like, wow, like, that's how you know Back to the Future has a very loyal following, a lot of fans. Like I said, you may have not seen it, but I know you heard of it. I know you've seen the shoes, and I know you see these time travel movies and shows. It's because basically Back to the Future started it all. Like I said, they were basically the templates to all these, to the template to the time travel concept. That's why it's insane. So, you know, I didn't get to see him. Actually, you had to pay a little extra. And I don't know if it was worth it, but I mean, you know, you just had to pay a little extra to be on that spot. And tickets went out fast too, obviously. So, you know, it was cool though. You know, I got to say that I watched Michael J. Fox on the screen at Comic-Con. That's the closest thing I could ever get to Back to the Future. But anyways, just this topic, right, of Back to the Future and what they did, it's literally shaped all generations. The Nike mag, as I mentioned, the self-tying laces is crazy, right? And so that's why we wanted to basically give a homage to Back to the Future and just recognize. And if you haven't seen it, you got to go watch it. Just the concept is crazy. And honestly, if you love the 80s retro vintage look, they basically kind of started it. Marty McFly, his fashion is crazy. If you watch Back to the Future 2, he is pretty fly, you know, like he got the Nike mags on, the hoverboard. It's pretty dope. And that's why even the music, if you love music, literally Back to the Future has everything in one film. You know, especially if you like the retro, just kind of checking out how the 80s was like, it's crazy. And again, it takes place in 85, and then they go back 30 years, so it's 1955. So, and 85, shout out Michael Jordan in 85, he came out with the shoes. But anyways, so that's why Back to the Future is definitely a classic film. You could literally watch it now. You could watch it couple years later, down the line, it's always going to be a timeless film. So please watch it. And I know that's why this is the whole point. We're going off the script. We're going everywhere. You know, there's nothing really planned, a little bit, but, you know, we like to just engage. And please let us know, again, where would you like to go back in time to, whether it be your childhood, or would you want to go into the future? I don't know. Just let us know, and then let's just have another conversation, an extended conversation to talk about, you know, the time travel concept, because it's crazy. And again, you know, we're not trying to play God, but it's impossible. But it's good to kind of live back. You know, I know a little emotional. Like you might want to see your lost, you know, loved ones, and there's so many things. And, you know, people, you know, we try not to dwell in the past, but, you know, sometimes you gotta face it, and sometimes you gotta, you know, face it, and it's hard, I know, but, you know, it's a concept where it's very interesting to talk about. And it's always a conversation, you know. So Back to the Future, it's amazing. And if you haven't watched it, hopefully I get to one day meet him. Who knows? But as soon as I meet him, you know, I'm turning this camera on, and I'm gonna let you guys know if I actually seen the cast, because I'm a huge fan. There's Back to the Future 1, 2, 3. There's talks about another one with Tom Holland, but who knows? I don't know how accurate that is, but, you know, the film is amazing. It really gets you, it really, you get to live that fantasy, you know. But again, there's a risk, you know, there's a risk of you possibly altering, you know, how much can you change the past and to shape the present? You might be in a dangerous situation like Marty McFly. So, you know, but it's just kind of fun to think about, right? There's all these shows that talk about it, and now, like, there's AI. There's like a crazy Korean film that a lost one is, they have a lost one, but now there's an AI, you know, they get to relive with them. Like, if their grandma was lost, they make AI grandma, you know. So it's an interesting concept, and it all has to do with time, right? We like to play with the concept of time. So we just want to pay tribute to Back to the Future. We love you. We thank you. And I think we're going to wrap it up from here. But if you liked it, I know we kind of went fast, but if you liked this video, please press like so it lets us know you liked it, so we keep making it. It really encourages us, you know. So please like it. Please subscribe. This is not the only thing we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff, okay? So stay tuned. There's gonna be some crazy surprises that we have in store, and set the notifications. And again, the best part is for you to comment so we know, and so we will engage with you. And so don't forget to do that. This was OTS. This is Off the Script. We're gonna see you next time. Stay tuned. Peace.